Hi, my name is Mary Beth Myers, and we're here in Montecito, California. We had a mudslide here in January 9th, 2018, and my house, along with many others, was absolutely wiped out. It was a weird and tragic time, and lost some neighbors and 23 people altogether. And then we had a long period of waiting as we figured out what was happening with the watershed, and everyone's trying to get their lives back together. And for me, I was ready to build a different house.
Mary Beth probably came to me I don't know how many years ago, for a remodel of a little shack that was there, historic shack. Her shack that we were going to remodel in some way, and had just turned plans for that to go to the review board. That night when we turned the plans in, of course, her house got washed away.
And then I asked my architect, Jeff Shelton, what could we do that would be the strongest house you could build? And he said, how do you feel about round? And I said, like a turret and like a castle, and he's like, sure. So then we did that.
The debris flow inspired the shape, the idea. Somehow, I immediately went to look at maps for rivers and how things sit in rivers in flood areas. And everything was shaped oval or round, little islands. They were never these square masses. So did a sketch on a 8.5 by 11 and showed Mary Beth, and I said, Mary Beth, this is your house now. It's a round house. Water will go around it.
Jeff started calling it the Stone Tower, and it's got all kinds of references. Like we said, a turret in a castle, or an old water mill, or even like a 1905 outpost like you would see in Yosemite, right? So it had this landmark feeling. So he called it the Stone Tower. We're still calling it that. And to me, the most poetic part of it is the house was literally built from the stones that rolled down the hill during the debris flow, along with the stones that we excavated. That's what makes up the Stone Tower. I do interior design, so it was really fun to work with Jeff as the architect and then use everything I could think of to do the interior of the house. And he said early on, you're not ever supposed to do a round house. Like every fundamental rule of architecture, do not design a round house. And so he did it anyway. And then designing the interior was almost designing a boat, right? Everything has to be multifunctional and tuck in, and every single thing has to be custom because you have to have a curved door and a curved cabinet front. And I was in a wine bar several years ago, and I was talking to my stone guy that's working on the house, AJ Johnson, and saw this floor, and it was just like little crumbly bits of marble mosaic. And so when we were building this house, I thought, why not do that? So we literally dumpster dived and used scraps from the other stone manufacturers here in Santa Barbara to create this mosaic floor. And then I did an indoor-outdoor thing, so you can literally roll the furniture and what have you in and out depending on the usage. And I have a whole bunch of dogs, so it's dog-friendly as well. There's a lot of color. I love color. I think it's just, an easy way to be happier. So I've used a lot of color, but more in the furnishing. The light fixtures are primarily Murano glass, and those have such beautiful colors, especially when the light's going through the glass. And then the ironwork is Jeff's brother, David Shelton, and he has a very Gaudi-esque style, which I love. So it just flows. It feels good to run your hand down that wiggly banister. We put some seating into the balcony so that when I can have parties and dinner parties, we'll have, dinner for 12 out on the terrace. And it's, a relatively small house for Montecito. It's only 936 square feet. But because of the way we designed it, it has every luxurious thing I can think of, but pocket-sized. So I just love it. I don't think I need another square inch of space. And then the whole wall opens to nature, and it really does feel like glamping in a very upscale yurt. I have a lot of special places in this house, and I got to use all the things that I wanted to use, right? So mosaic tiles. I did like a wet room with a big crazy chandelier just in the powder room, right? But it's kind of Danish in a way. There's no barriers. And then upstairs, I did a gigantic bathtub, no shower, because I thought it's a little house. I have a shower and a tub. I don't need more than that. And to sit in that tub and soak and look at all the trees and the birds around me is just absolutely magical. So to me, it's a lot about function. Color just makes me happy, and it's an easy way to shift the mood of a space. I also love repurposing things. Start with all the things that you already have, and then edit down to the things that you don't like, and then we'll fill in a little bit with a few needed items. But I'm definitely not, let's go to the showroom, buy it out. There's no need. We already have so many good things. It's better to share those with other people, and you end up with a beautiful result that looks nothing like anyone else's house. When JB and Jeff reached out to me to be part of the PATH virtual home tour, I hesitated for half a second because to me the house isn't quite done. But I love the idea of housing first, and the homeless problem is unbelievable, and we need to address it. And when I talked to JB, I loved the wholeness of their approach. I think it's really wonderful and so needed at this time. And I thought, it took me a long time to get this house, this home, and I thought, what better people to share it with for the first time than your group. So yeah, I'm happy to be here, happy to share this with you. And yeah, it couldn't be more important work at a more important time. So yeah, Jeff said, this is what PATH is. JB explained it to me, and I thought, absolutely perfect kickoff to showing off this house.